My grandmother, for sure. Well, I'd say my grandmother and also Maya Angelou, because I've always loved her poetry and she's always been an inspiration. But on a personal level, my grandmother, for sure.
My father. I have to say my father, because he's always been so strong, and even though it took him a couple years to come around, because he's always shown me unconditional love and understanding, even when he didn't agree with it.
I'm really into Jay Adams, like old like Z Boys. I like him, and then my dad has been a lot of who I look up to too. He's been there for me. He's taught me everything about cars and fishing and hunting and offered like just everything. He teaches me a lot of life lessons.
And I always looked up to David Bowie from a gender standpoint, because he was always so fluid and just didn't give a fuck. Like, he just didn't. It was just whoever he wanted to be that day, or whatever he wanted to do. It didn't matter. And he represented it in such a positive light.
I look up to a lot of the trans activists who fight for our rights and tries to make a world a better place for us.
Groups like ACT UP totally inspire me for my queer identity, where they were extremely radical and they weren't afraid to upset people, to speak their mind and say queers matter. And I feel like the trans community needs that right now.
Kate Bornstein has always been somebody really positive to me, mostly because she really expresses the fact that the sum of your lifetime, the sum of your experiences is the most valuable thing you could possibly have.
So I try to help girls. A lot of young girls just starting out transitioning will message me and ask for advice on transition or life issues or something. I try my best to help them out, or send them to someone that could, or a link to a place that could help them. A great story is this one girl that I ended up becoming really good friends with. She was wealthy, she was intelligent and educated, and she had lots of friends, but she was still unhappy and contemplating suicide, and she didn't know why until she saw one of my interviews just out of the blue. She just hit a link and found me. And after watching my interview, in which I said, transition for yourself, no one else. Don't worry about what your parents think. Don't worry about work. You're doing this for you, not for them. If you keep doing stuff for them, you're going to be miserable with your transition, because you can't deny it. Like, there are people who try to bottle it up, and around 30, 40, 50 years old, it just explodes, and the duration of your life is like just gone.
I don't know that I would actually give anybody advice, because the only thing I know that works for me is circumstantial to my life. And I'd feel bad. I wouldn't want to point somebody in the wrong direction just because something worked out for me.
I try to educate the younger transsexuals in my direct community. I grew up in the gay bar scene doing drag shows, and it's a very tight-knit community, and the older gals always look out for the younger ones and kind of show them the ropes and, make sure they're not doing the wrong things that could be harmful. So I try to take on that role with the younger girls. I actually have one of my close friends is a younger transsexual, and I mentor her, and she lives with me, and I help her with hormones, transitioning, all the stuff that goes with it,
I just tried my best to, educate them in the sense of business and lifestyle, giving positive influence, supporting them to go after being educated, knowing that they can transform and go after living a normal life and create businesses and be successful outside of the adult world.
There's a lot of young trans, or even, a little older trans people who have not actually come out with it. And they're always looking for that little bit of something that they can relate to.